Alright, I want you to imagine this. After a long, painful day of this horrible place that they call school, I get back home and turn on my PlayStation 4 because that was the current console of the time. And out of all the games in my large library, the game that I choose to play the most is Overwatch. Overwatch absolutely mesmerized younger me. It was a colorful and fun shooter, kind of similar to games I was playing like Team Fortress 2. It had a really appealing art style and instantly iconic character design. And overall, the game was just fun. It was just something fun for me and my friends to do on the weekend. Younger me honestly believed that I would be playing Overwatch for the rest of my life. Then 2 years later, I lost interest in the game and went to something else. But you know what? I'm willing to give things a second chance. And well, Overwatch is turning 10 years old this year, which is crazy. So join me as I reminisce on something that used to be a pretty important part of my childhood. God, that's kind of weird to say, isn't it? Can you believe that this game is 10 years old? I sure don't want to think about that. Unlike every other video on Overwatch that's just going to tear this game apart, I'm going to be a bit more generous seeing how the fact that I've been here from the start. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to criticize this game because, dear God, this game has some problems. But my main goal with this video is to show more so to myself if Overwatch is worth coming back to. So let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is a hero shooter. Okay, let's move on to something else. Joking aside, I feel like I don't really have to explain much about the gameplay. It's a 6v6 hero shooter. You pretty much know what you're getting to if you're experienced with the genre, especially seeing how the fact that this kind of created the genre. Oh, but I'm sorry, it's not a 6v6 anymore, it's 5v5. Even though the game was originally 6v6 and now it's switched to a 5v5 format, I'm not really that upset about it. I mean, the most obvious change is that there's only like one tank now compared to 2 tanks as before, but I don't really mind it. I think there was a time where I did because I didn't want to be reliant as the only solo tank, and definitely I feel like some characters are better as being solo tanks compared to others. But now I just don't really care. I mean, obviously I have a lot to say about tank, seeing how the fact that it's my favorite class in the game. I also enjoy playing DPS from time to time, but don't ask me my opinions on healers. I don't really like playing them. Lucio's pretty cool though.
Oh yeah, one more thing.
How about we talk about the characters? There are still a lot of fun characters that I really enjoy in this game. Despite me being more of a tank person, my most played character in the game is actually Reaper. Call me an edgelord in the comments, but I just really like his design and his kit is really fun. I also really enjoy playing D.va, Mei, Orisa, and of course the GOAT, Winston.
Hi there.
I also probably gotta mention the characters added when this game was still called Overwatch 2. To put it into perspective, the last time that I was properly playing this game was when Moira came out. If you want my honest opinion on the new characters, I actually really like them. Well, newish. I know that the game is no longer Overwatch 2, so the Overwatch 2 characters aren't new anymore. Ramattra has pretty much become one of my new go-to tanks in the game. He's just really fun to play. Kiriko is also a character that exists. And now I guess I have to talk about the Overwatch 1 characters that aren't from Overwatch 1 but are now part of Overwatch. It's so confusing, this naming scheme. Domina is another tank that I really enjoy playing, plus she's also hot, so that's a bonus. And Emery has pretty much become my new favorite DPS in the game because he plays like Halo. And I really like Halo.
Greetings!
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's characters that I don't like in this game. Sigma was definitely the character that I hated fighting against the most in this game, but he was more of a lesson in trigger discipline, I guess. I also didn't really enjoy playing against Wrecking Ball because he's so fast, but he's a big target, so I just had to get used to it. But there's one character that I despise in this game, and it's one that they added recently too. This goddamn cat. Oh, how I hate it.
Shut your fucking mouth!
As somebody who plays tank, it absolutely sucks being captured by this specimen and being forced against my will to be dropped into a pit that I can't even escape from, even if I'm playing d.va or Winston. So if somehow any developers are watching this video, firstly, sorry that you are, and secondly, please remove this cat from the game. That would be very appreciated. Despite how many years have passed, I still think that Overwatch character designs are still great. They're fun and colorful and really appealing to look at, unless you're Hazard. I'm sure there's some more in-depth lore that I could be talking about with all of these characters, but I don't really care about the lore. I've never really cared about the lore. What I can compliment this game's story on is the cinematics, because even though I don't give a shit about the lore, goddamn do I love these cinematics. My favorite one is definitely the Widowmaker one. It tells a tragic story while also being fun and action-packed. Close second would be the Genji and Hanzo one because it's just so iconic. I don't really hate any of the cinematics in this game. Well, except for the one that they released recently, the Reign of Talon one. I remember the time when Doomfist was first being teased for the game, and we actually unironically thought that Terry Crews was going to be the voice of Doomfist, which, looking back, was really stupid to think of, largely because he is a big-named actor, and I don't think Blizzard had that much money at the time. I mean, maybe they do now, but that would mean that they would have to hire him over and over again for lines, and compared to just hiring like a normal voice actor that would be cheaper. Still probably would have been funny though. But back to the point that I was trying to make, I don't like this cinematic because this new girl just kind of comes out of nowhere and kicks Doomfist's ass, which is this character that was being teased for years, that was able to beat all of these Overwatch characters, but then all of a sudden this new girl showed up and just beats him. I don't know, it just doesn't sit right for me. Maybe I'm just weird that way. Now I should briefly go over some of the modes that you can do in Overwatch, as I only really played 3 on this recording session that I had playing the game. Most of my time was spent in 5v5, which I still find fun. I do find this game a bit annoying sometimes, mainly with some of the characters, so it's not a perfect experience, but I still enjoyed myself playing. I was really curious about 6v6, seeing how the fact they were making a big deal that it was back, so I tried it out, and conveniently for the 10-year anniversary, they made 6v6 mode, where you play pretty much the original Overwatch. So I hopped back in, expecting a nice little nostalgia trip, to instead be met by 50 Roadhog hooks every 5 seconds. As much as we want to glaze the game for what it was before, there definitely was a time where the game was better. I don't think that day 1 Overwatch was that great, seeing how the fact that I had to deal with this motherfucker. But overall, 6v6 is exactly how I remember it. I don't prefer any mode over each other. I just think you should play whichever mode you have friends for. If you have like 5 friends, then do 5v5. But if you have more, do 6v6. It's not that different, at least in my opinion. Now, one of the big things that they wanted to add in this game to actually justify the 2, because people were complaining about it when it was Overwatch 2 at the time, was Stadium mode. And I played it, and I don't really like it. Look, I get what they were trying to do with this, but I don't really enjoy it, largely because it seems like there's a meta, and I'm not really enjoying the meta. I don't really understand all the items. Maybe if I did my research would be better, but like, I don't know. I will at least defend the third-person camera. I actually like this addition. Not every hero works with this camera, but I still really enjoy it. It's a fun little thing, and also you can actually see the skins that you buy, and it's not in first person, so that's cool. You know what? Mentioning skins perfectly transitions into my final topic and my biggest complaint about this game, the monetization. When Overwatch came out, it was a $40 game on PC and a $60 game on console. Definitely a bit pricey for a multiplayer-only game, but at the time it didn't really matter because it was the new hotness, and also all the cosmetics you got were pretty much free. I mean, they weren't very convenient because you had to gamble for them, but pretty much free, especially if you got the in-game currency from the loot boxes. This isn't me defending loot boxes, but I'm gonna be honest. I prefer paying for the game and having to do these loot boxes as long as they're free, compared to whatever the hell they're doing now. Once this game went free to play, skins ended up costing around like $25, which is a bit too pricey for me for a virtual cosmetic. It's definitely not as bad as before, but I can't forgive some of those prices back in the day. But then again, you can make the argument that this is just how the industry works and free to play is the future, but I still hate it. At least we got epic collabs with stuff like Persona 5, Street Fighter, and My Hero Academia.
Just got back from Popeyes. Do you want a bite of my chicken breast? Here, puppy. I know you haven't eaten today. Take a bite. Here, I'll help. Watch me. Puppy, this chicken's bussin'.
But in the end, do I recommend that you play this game? Actually, yes. Despite me complaining that this game is free to play, I still enjoy playing it, and it definitely removes a barrier of entry for a lot of people to try to. I still don't think this game is fantastic. It's never going to be the game of the year contender that it was back in 2016, but I'm honestly enjoying it at least more than how I'm currently feeling about Marvel Rivals, largely because that game has a very off meta where healers and new characters are always going to be broken, and I kind of hate it. I'm so sick and tired of seeing triple support. At least in general, from what I noticed, Overwatch doesn't have an absolute fucked up meta. I mean, there definitely was a time that they did. I'm looking at you, goats. But I enjoy the addition of roll queue so that we don't have these fucked up comps that I have to deal with. Even though, to be fair, it makes these queue times almost unbearable. But you heard me talk about this game enough, why don't I get another person's opinion on this? Here's my good friend streamer Opheria with her opinions on the game. Hey, so what are your thoughts on Overwatch now?
Oh my god, that game sucks. Don't call me again.
Well, shit.
Tracer.
I'm already Tracer.
What about Widowmaker?
I'm already Widowmaker.
I'll be Bastion.
Nerf Bastion.
You're Renzo Winston.
I wanna be Winston.
I guess I'll be Genji.
I'm already Genji.
Then I'll be McCree.
I already chose McCree.